Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian Report for Wednesday the 23rd of June, and where we left off last time we were talking about this particular top in play here, which would be in line with the US markets. But with the US markets, there's a good possibility that we're going to be moving higher. So this count may be wrong, and I think that could be the case because this particular move that's moving down through the top here, which we'll take a closer look at, of course, this move down through here, I was looking for it to be 5 waves, but it seems to be only 3 waves. So that makes it corrective. I suppose that's still okay in terms of looking at a wave 4. We don't really need 5 waves down, but in the first leg down, I would think that we would get those 5 waves, and we haven't. So I've got this sort of bullish thing on my mind. So just taking this picture here and just stepping it up one more leg here, I was thinking like this here. So wave 1 and 2 here in blue intermediate degree, and then 5 waves up here for wave 3, and then 4 and 5. Now, this would make kind of sense and would just sort of, from this 72 here, would just push straight up here for that. But I would like to say the count that I've got on the US, where I've got this wave 3 and 4 here, I've got that wave 3 here and 4 here. So in the US, I've got this current move up here as wave 1 here, and back for wave 2 here, and then going up for wave 3. So a bit bigger of a picture. So this is just the Russell here to give you a bit of an idea. So having that wave 4 here, then wave 1 here and 2 here. This is a daily chart. So 1 and 2 here and 3, 4, 5. So I think that we could be looking something like that. But obviously we're going to need the banks to help us with, well, partly the banks to, the banks kind of dominate the ASX, but at the same time, you know, the banks are, you know, well, they're connected to the financial system, the carry trade and where they borrow, and interest rates and all sorts of things. So yeah, so we'll take a close look at that. But I think what we can do today at least is have a closer look at this little move in here, and if it is going to be bullish, you know, where can we get in and what can we do about it? Okay, so I'll need to do a little bit more work on this. So yeah, let's just go to, well, we'll go to the 4-hour chart, because that's where this is where we left off with the top in play here. But I don't know if you can see from this top here, and that's where I was taking it from, this top rather than that top. We've got an A and a B and a C wave down here. There's 5 waves in here. And then this is also looking a little bit impulsive here, which we'll need to have a bit of a look at as well. So just check it on the hourly chart here. So this is what I was thinking here from the top there. I had it as wave 1 and 2 and 3 to this point, and we're looking for wave 4 to come back here. I think that's still on the tick chart, so hopefully we'll check that. And then wave 5 here. We just never got that 5th wave here. So it doesn't mean, you know, we could still have this as a bigger move to the downside, but yeah, it does look rather impulsive here. I'll take a closer look at that in a moment. And this just, I don't know if it's all wrapped up in that one there or not. We'll check on that. But yeah, we've got this ABC pattern here. And not only that, it does appear to be impulsive there. So we'll just go to the tick chart and we'll just work through that. Okay, so well, let's just get our things together here a little bit. Probably do with it over here as well, and then we'll look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 there maybe. We'll just pull that apart and check on it. Well, that's got to be wave 4, so that's going to be anything there. So that's what I was looking for. We'd counted down here, and we're looking for this wave 4 here, but it's just never happened. So it's like, whoops, made a mistake, and this wave can go over here, that can go there. I think this can go here. We'll check on that further. Don't need that one. Oops. So yeah, I mean, it just sort of suits better as an ABC now at in this point in time. So just looking at this, well, we'll just put that there for the time being, and that one there. Just move that out of the way. We could borrow some of these, couldn't we? So we'll just look at that. I'll have a closer look at that in a moment. Now we'll just have a closer look at this in here. Okay, well, that makes sense here a little bit. So we've got that nice move up here as wave 1, nice little ABC for 2 here. Then we've got this little wave 1 and 2 here, so 1 and 2 in here, and then the third wave being long and strong, so we've got 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave. This is a nice fifth wave here, so this is wave 1 and 2 in here, and wave 3 and 4 and 5 there, so that's okay. ABC for the fourth here, and the fifth. So look, I like this, you know. I mean, I like it as an impulse wave. It's good. And we've just got to work out now. I mean, technically, we would be looking at this moving back here to the 50-60% mark. Not that it has to, but, you know, just putting it in. Especially when you've got a nice number like that there, it may not come back. We don't have any overlapping. I can't count. That could be counted in different ways here. So I can see that. I can see that it can be counted in both ways. So that's not very helpful. I mean, it hasn't pulled back really enough. And it could build to the upside from here as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, building to the upside. I mean, if it was just going to be an ABC, it would just go to here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. But it's kind of just taken out the top there a little bit, hasn't it? Not by much. But, you know, this is a CFD product, and you can't trust those guys. Or most of them anyway. With their data. I mean, we noticed that on Bitcoin the other day when I was comparing the data to from Bitstamp, and it was completely different. It's like they missed out a whole, you know, chunk of data and didn't even acknowledge it by leaving a gap in the market. You know, they just squashed it back up. So yeah, I don't know if we should put this here somewhere, you know. That's what I'm unsure about. But what I do know is that we can go long above the top. So where does that leave us with the levels here? We got the 7,300, the 300 is a minor level, and it's a top of minor group 1, so that's really important. And then we've got 30 here as well. So that's subgroup stuff, you know. That's so 10, 20, and 30 is sub-level of group 1, and we've got support on that now. Then that's the 50 here. So you could go long on 73.50 as a nice support, because I think that's going to keep building there, you know. Because if this was an ABC pattern, we could look at it. Yeah, it just looks like it looks more bullish, you know. Like I said, an A and a B and a C here, because the other point here too, sorry for spending too much time on this, but, you know, this is, I mean, that's the 61.8% mark there. So normally if we find that as support, we would go long on that, you know, within reason. Is that 5 waves up there? Have I missed something here? Have I? No, that looks pretty smooth here. I was just thinking there's maybe a 1 and 2 in here, then a 3 and a 4 and a 5, but I don't think that's the case. I think we can actually go long above that high and then look to add, once you get support on 50, look to add on top of that and here as well. And we'll be on our way from that point, and then we can just put this wave 2 over here. But because of this 56, the wave 1 here is a very strong case for being bullish, okay? So that means that if the market did come down here, it would be worth holding out on that, I'd imagine. So we can put this down here as the stop. I know that's probably too far away from most people because most people trade too much. But yeah, that would be the setup there for that. Okay, well, let's move along and have a look at the other markets at this point. So this is iron ore, and yeah, I mean, what China have done, they've got a stockpile, right, and of lots of different metals. So they released a lot of their stockpile onto the market, you know, for their manufacturers and wholesalers to buy up. Yeah, they did that with all the metals except iron ore. So they didn't put any iron ore on the market. So they want to keep that for their own infrastructure at that point, rather than, because the metals basically come down to the point of, in terms of pricing, China don't really have any control over it. They can manipulate it for a short period of time, but at the end of the day, the people that control this stuff are twofold. It's the producers that produce the iron ore, and also the consumer end as well. They dictate the price as well of supply and demand. So China can't do a lot with the price. They can manipulate it for a short period, and that's what they've done with copper. Let's just check on copper. Not that it mattered with copper, because I mean, this is when they release their supply here, and it has dropped. But we were kind of, you know, looking at this anyway, and we're expecting, you know, we'd already seen the correction started. So in here, from the B wave here, we've got 1 and 2 here, and it's probably 5 waves in this move here. So now we're seeing the bounce, which will just be, you know, a 40% bounce. So yeah, back up to this point here, roughly speaking, and then one more move lower at that point. So that'll bring us to here. I think we noted this is not 5 waves, but 3 waves. So I'm confident that we're not going to look at this as the 3rd wave down here, and then a 4th, and then a 5th. You know what I mean? It'll just be the A, the B, and the C wave to here. It could get uglier in regards to where I've got this. It could end up being an A wave to here, then a B wave over here, and a C wave over here, so to speak. It could be like that. Or because it's in 3 waves, it could be an expanded flat, which takes the top out over here and then comes back, or just a regular flat like this here, or a triangle, or all these sorts of things. But we'll just stay with this for the time being. But just to let you know, we'll keep an eye on the Australian dollar is doing the same thing as well. So we'll be able to buy the Aussie dollar down here. But I will just copy that, and we'll just put that little A wave there, just to remind us that things can get out of hand a little bit, and we just need to move forward with caution at all times. Yeah, so that's that. Oil's still got a little bit of a top to make in play. You can see that on our website. So yeah, there's it's got another little high to come in over here for that. So that's there. So that's, at least that's supporting BHP. And Right, let's just have a look at things. I want to go back to iron ore for a moment. I just want to have a look at the intraday because I wasn't on board yesterday. So just want to go to the tick chart here. It'll probably be a bit messy because I haven't cleaned it up. Yeah, right, so it's a bit weird. This here is like a corrector of an ABC pattern here. So I wonder if we got, let's get in a bit more data here. I just want to check on this a bit more. I was just wondering if this was wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here and then an ABC pattern coming back into the 50-60% retracement level here as a bullish move. That was all I was thinking of there. But I would like to just follow through on that a little bit. So that takes us to there. See, that leaves, we've just got to be careful here because that leaves us here. That's not really a nice wave 1 coming down here. You know, this is more like a correction here. So an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. There may be, I'd have to pull that apart here, but we're close to the end. There may be another move here, but we're sitting right on that 61.8% mark here now for that. So we'll just pop that in there. I mean, that's significant. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Yeah, so we don't need, let me just clean these up a little bit. We don't need that, don't need that. If that was going to be wave 1, it would need to sit over here for that. So we've either got that as wave B here or wave 1. Need that. That could be there. We don't know that yet. We'll just see how that plays out. We'll put that there. Don't need that there. Okay, I'll just clean that up a little bit. So we can look at this here in 2 ways, an A, B, C for the B wave, and then we continue to move down for the C wave here for that. So if it moves past this low here, then, you know, if it moves down through here further, then we'll know that we're on the right track with this B wave here. But if we see this as the A, the B, and the C wave here for this here, and we see this climb further up here, then we'll look at this here and then we'll look to turn bullish at some point in here. But we need to line this up with with iron ore, with the iron ore stocks, of course. So let's just see how that plays out for the time being. I'll just save that. Yeah, okay, let's have a look at BHPs. BHP for New York here. So we're also looking at this in terms of iron ore as well as an A wave, a B wave, and coming down here for a C wave here for wave 4. It's playing out okay-ish. We haven't made a low below here just yet. So this as 1 and 2, and this, I mean, this move down through here, there would be a 1 and 2 in here, and a third wave here, and a fourth wave here, and a fifth wave here. If the 72 here, if the $72 mark here becomes the support, then we'll start to look at it in a bullish in a bullish light, because let's just get this. That all looks like the same sort of structure there. So we can see that just roughly the 38.2% is probably a little bit higher, but we wouldn't, if the 72 became the support, then it would take away the bearish count there, so to speak. So it's right at the 38.2%. So it shouldn't really go any higher than that. Sure, it can go to the 72, likes the 72, as you can see here, across here, and all over here as well. So there is some sort of glass ceiling there. So let's just, it's just retesting supply from this point. So let's just see if it does that. If it finds support on 72, then we'll need to look to be bullish at that point, and then we would have to look at all of this here as slightly different. We'd have to look at this as wave 1 up there and copy this back here for wave 2 at that point. So up for 1 here, an A and a B and a C, back for 2, and we'll look for a trade setup, probably not onto 72, but we'll probably look on top of 73, which would be group 1 of 70, which is the main number across this point here, really. So we'll just see how that plays out there for BHP, but still currently it's on the weaker side, and iron ore's down. Copper's, BHP's big in copper, of course, so that's still got a little wave 4 rally in copper to go and then move down, and crude oil's the one that would be holding it up if it's going to be up at that point. There, the stochastics is kind of loaded down here as well. We'll see how it's not so much at the fact that it's under the level here, under the thing, it's how quickly it moves up and down in relationship to the price. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll have a look at the Australian BHP while we're at it. Where is it? Here it is. So it was slightly up. This is a weekly chart here as well, but just to, in this case here too, we could also look at this as wave 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here. So we've either got 1 and 2 and we move up high from that point, or we continue down into wave C or 4 here. Let's just check it on the daily chart. So we can bring this over to here. It's pretty low because that would be the 50-60% retracement level there. So let me just double check on this. Yeah, still it's at the 61.8 here, the 78.6 square root of 61.8. That's acceptable here for that. We'll just see how that plays out at that point. I mean, it's certainly on the weaker side, it's just jumped. And once again, we have the stochastics down here, as you can see on the low there. So we'll see that bounce. But, even as a C wave coming down here, we'd still have one more move down here. Because if that was an A wave and a B wave and a C wave here, we'd still have, this is a wave 4 here, and then a wave 5 to come down. And then we'd start to build over this side. So this is where we could look at it over here. But otherwise, yeah, we just keep on moving down lower from here. So don't really have a long trade here for this just yet. Let's just look at Rio here. So yesterday was up, but it was up on really low volume. So that tells me that the move up is corrective. That's what the volume is confirming the price action as. So we'll just see how that plays out. But once again, here too, this can be wave 1 here and back for wave 2 here. But yeah, we'll just see. This still is not resolved yet here. So it's better on the short side than the long side, but we're trading against the trend, so that makes it a bit more difficult. I want to have a look at the Australian dollar. So the Australian dollar is very much like copper. So we're looking, this is the wave 4 that we were looking at coming into play here. So I'll just tidy this drunken mess up there, and we can look at from this high to this low. We can look at the 38.2% here for that. So from there, and then another move down from from that point. This is what copper's doing as well. So that was the correction that we're looking at. So we're coming into a buying opportunity. It's just we're not there yet. The market hasn't landed, and we don't have any evidence of a move to the upside yet. So yeah, just in line with copper for that. So this is gold, just on the hourly chart, and it can be counted in different ways. So we can look at this move down here as the A wave and a B wave here, and a C wave down to this wave 3 area here. Okay, so yes, last time we spoke, we were looking at it as wave 3, 4, and 5 here for the third wave. So I don't know if this is wave 4 or wave 1 just yet. I'll have a bit, when I do the gold video, I'll have a bit more of a look at that, but that's what we were expecting to come back up. If the 1800 becomes the support, then we can go long from that point, but we would need to see that first high above the level here to go long above here, you know. So we don't have that just yet, but that's something that we can look for. I need to work out, if everything's said and done, is that we need to work out from the top here, are we going to have 5 waves down, or are we just going to have 3 waves down? That's the whole point of this, you know. I mean, I can, you know, look at it in different ways, of course. Like I did in the last video, we looked at different ways that it could be in the bigger picture, and we'll look at that again on the gold when we do the gold video. But I'm just saying, everything's said and done, we need to know if we're going to get from the top, are we going to have 5 waves down, or are we going to have 3 waves down? Because that's how that's if it's 3 waves down, well, then we're going up, you know. If it's 5 waves down, yes, we will go up, but then just as a corrective rally, and then we'll go down again. So I'll leave that for the gold video at that point. Right, we haven't looked at the banks, so let's just check out the banks. So ANZ, what's this, the daily chart here. So yeah, with ANZ, I was kind of considering a top being in place of wave 3 here. This wave 3, because we made a little high above here. But there is risk with all of this as well. We looked at short trades here, of course, but we need to put that up there. This is the support here. So what I can say, for this to be a bearish market, we would need to see the 28 as the resistance. The other important thing here too is that even though we've moved down through here, we can see that we've moved down, but on lower volume. So that's telling me that this is also corrective as well here. So that means that the market can push up from here, and then we would need to look at this as, you know, in another light over here. We'd need to look at this as wave 1 here and back for wave 2 here in that case. We're not seeing increasing volume there. Let's just check out CommBank. Okay, well, our wave 4 has started, isn't it, you know? So what we can say and do here, but the one is the strongest number in the market, so it's really going to be a sticky number here for this. So we'll need to be careful about how we count things, and it's at the 38.2% retracement level here already. It looks a little bit simplistic, I have to say, to be a wave 4 at this stage. I would expect something, you know, I'd expect some sort of ABC pattern here at least, you know, before moving up higher at that point. But, you know, if you're not trading CFDs and you're trading stock, well, then it's sort of okay to buy at this level, I guess, you know, or anywhere below 100. But anyway, we'll just wait for a day or two and we'll see what sort of setup that we're going to get there. But as a wave 4, it's pulled back to where it should have done. All I can say about that, though, is rather quick. You know, having such a big trend here, normally we would see, like, that's a big emotional event here. we would normally see it drift sideways for a while, you know, and then push up. But and also too, because the extension's in wave 3 here, then, we had a short trade here, so we could probably get out of that short trade. So I'll just delete that. And you can also see too that this move down here is on lower volume, even though it moved down quickly. Look, if you're still short in this market and you don't want to get out just here, then you'll need to leave a stop somewhere. So really, I don't know, the only place you could leave it is pretty high back up here, and having that gap there. I mean, the market will want to try to cover that gap, you know. Not that it covers it all the time. We can see a gap here, but that was in the third of the third here. That's in the middle of the trend of the third wave. So, but yeah, certainly lock in some profits there, but I'll just leave that at that point. Yeah, I was saying, sorry, is that the third wave here is the longest. So wave 1 here and wave 5 will be roughly the same. Well, they won't be roughly the same because that length here won't even get it to a new high here. So what I normally do is just take the length of this here and then grab the 61.8%. So I'll just grab that length there, get rid of that, and then stick that on top there, remove that. So that's where we could be looking at. That's probably a nice number, the 110 sort of area here. So this will also be sort of influence the ASX 200 a lot as well here. So we can move that up here because that's 10 is the first minor level here. So we've got 100, which is the major level, and then we've got 10, 20 and 30 that make up group 1. And normally we see the first high above the level coming into here, you know, within group 1 as well. So yeah, let's just see how that plays out. But that will be this will be a good guide stick for the ASX 200 as well. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.